Hello, friends of Komodo platform, friends of Pirate Chain, friends of Bitcoin, friends of crypto price charts. I'm E. Giuliano. It's 13th of November. It's a Saturday, and I'm here to share my screen to look at some crypto price charts of Bitcoin, the Komodo, and the Pirate Chain. Well, hope you're doing well, staying hydrated, moving around, enjoying healthy, happy relationships and all that good stuff. The bottom line that I'm noticing here, I think, is that the BTC is in a correction. The alts are correcting as well. Some are moving, some are not. But basically, like moving up, moving down. We've got some renewal from Darrow. ICX is pretty solid. LTC's been playing hard, if you know what I'm saying. And ADA is back down to this 31, 3,200 Satoshis level. So things are in a sideways correction, tracks around 3,200. There we are. And with the Bitcoin price chart in correction, everything's kind of sideways. And then I get the sense Bitcoin's going to continue higher. Altcoins are going to either sideways or down. And this is where we get the opportunity for the KMD going lower than the previous lows. Same thing with Pirate chart. And yeah, that's where we're getting ourselves down to those lows of the lows that we might be expecting, lower than lows we were expecting previously. And that's usually a sign. What sign it is, I don't know. However, I am here to share this Bitcoin price chart with you to say, look, here's the idea right now. It looks like coming up, correction, down, up, and now we're in our correction. Okay, fine. That seems like it's looking like that, but maybe this whole thing, this part of the wave is expanding into a bigger wave. So we're getting a bigger correction here as part of a bigger wave up. That's fine. Whatever it's going to be, it looks like right now that it's going to be this kind of correction where we get an A, a B, and then some sort of C. Oh, the C though might be, let's change this for a second here. We don't want that. We'll see that, and maybe not that. The weeks doesn't even look that way either. So that's okay. The style is, we need it right, huh? And we want to see the wave. Okay. So actually, now, here's the thing. Because first we had this correction here, which was pretty much a nice, decent zigzag type of correction there. Okay. And now we are in this one here, which seems a bit more flat because this B wave is returning to where we started. Now, the reason I'm calling it like this or thinking that something like this is happening is because, all right, we're coming back down. There's a potential that this whole correction is not over because we make here a 3, and then we make here another 3. So if this is something that's going to keep correcting, then I get the sense we're going to make this sort of, now where is it going to be? I don't know if it's going to be that big. I don't think it's going to be that big. Like I get the sense that we're already around it. You know, I mean, maybe the 5 goes down to this level here. I'm going to jump into this, show the wave. Good for now. That one, I just want that there. Okay, so maybe it ends up something like this. So we have this 3 wave down, we have this 3 wave up, and now we're going to make some sort of 5 wave down, but overall it'll hit us with this type of ABC. The reason is this 5th, I get the sense it won't go lower than the 58.5, but it could be coming to the 58.5. But because this A already touches 58.5, Now, because like we're now using wicks, so I don't know exactly where things are going to go because this one actually touches, you know, the 56. So maybe we wick down to 58.5. Maybe the close is around the 59 or even at the 60 level. And maybe even the close is above 61 here, like we close above this box and end it there. But I don't think so because it's still, you know, the halfway through the in and the B waves here. So I get the sense maybe it's going to be, yeah, around 60 or just below some sort of closing there. That's the general sense I'm getting. And that way it closes out a bigger, what's it called? A bigger degree of correction. Now, let's say though, this is starting to become longer than this one because they're about even now. If we look at the time frames. This is the correction from back in like September, right? It's about 21 days. We're on the daily price chart. And so here, oops, I missed that. Here we are roughly, so 21 here. So yeah, it's already expanding it. So I get the sense that maybe we can look at some Fibonacci numbers and maybe they're related in this sense and maybe not. So it doesn't matter. We'll just play around a little bit. So if this were to be a value of 1 roughly, then this would be the 1382 is around 19 November, 1618 around the end of November. So maybe this correction lasts for another week or two, you know, going down a bit, coming back up, going down. But I don't think that's going to take that long. I don't know. Just don't get the sense that it needs to. But then again, the market's going to do the things that are going to make most people bored, most people concerned, uncertain, or they're going to make them falsely bullish, and that people are going to be always taking longs, like when's it going to come? When's it going to come? Getting margin calls, and then eventually the price is ready to pump further. Okay, maybe that's a sense. So then let's keep going here with this time. Let's imagine instead that this is that this is 61.8. So, so if this were 61.8, we would want to, oops, I shouldn't have made it so close. We would want, wow, that's pretty close actually. So yeah, so around here, so around 26 November. Yeah, I mean, it makes sense, right? Because the 61.8 and the 161.8 are inverted. So either way, if this was one whole thing and this was only 61.8% of it, then whatever, that's how it'd be. So yeah, I guess don't be surprised if a couple weeks pass by here. We're on the 13th, not even a couple weeks. Yeah, 13 days, a couple weeks, let's say a fortnight, whatever we're saying. A fortnight of correction is still on the cards, people getting scared, whatever. The other option is we continue going up because people are not scared and the market is ready to continue higher. Now, I don't want to stay too much longer on this. However, the things that are calling for potential further downside is this line. I mean, we're going to respect this line roughly for what it is. We have, you know, tried to get above it, can't hold it. And now we are back testing it as resistance. Okay, support not held. There was a day here. There was a day here, you see, on the 11th November, lest we forget that there was a pause candle at this line. So it's a significant zone of support resistance, in my opinion. And so now we are in a green candle, but we're getting the resistance. So next day is important for sure, because next day will tell us if we're getting rejected by this line or if we're going to continue higher above it. Okay, if we get rejected as resistance, then we're continuing down, and this bigger flat pattern continues to be in play. And you know what? Interestingly, that allows the price to play towards the lower end of this channel. Okay, whatever that may be, it'll be below the midline. And if that's the case, then that provides more room for a next outburst to the higher levels. So we'll see how that looks. And Don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves, but that's the idea there in terms of price action and support resistance levels. Now, the other option here is MACD. This is very undecided, but I'm getting the sense could go lower. Okay, maybe the trend for now is down, a little up and further that down. We'll see, we'll see. But just keep your eye on that. It might not be that far down though, as we continue some sort of strength to the upside. So I might, I'm saying a couple weeks, but that seems long. And again, that's why none of this financial advice. Do your own due diligence. And yeah, I think we can go sideways from here for a little bit. RSI also shows like we could continue clearing this out and get down to maybe 40s, and really clear out the divergence that was building here. You're getting a higher price here, lower price here, so lower price to higher price, but on the RSI it's diverging, higher RSI to lower RSI, bearish divergence. So as we keep it going, and that might make sense that it keeps on a downtrend, okay, in the terms of the momentum. Having said that, watch out, don't sit on your hands, because this thing moves like wild. It's just crazy, isn't it? Amazing. So I'm glad you're here watching it with me. That's it for BTC, I think, on the daily. That's all I really want to take a look. I'm going to take a look here now at the KMD and say it's in a place where capitulation is near. Capitulation is near, but it's not fully clear. So there might be more downside here. And this, 1,000 is really a round number, but levels towards the 1,000 are reasonable on a monthly time frame, but then as like some really nearing an end of a capitulation. Now, having said that, it'd be on such a large scale that it could just continue doing its thing for a long time, and whatever, who knows what needs to happen. However, we really do get the sense that once the capitulation is over, going to the moon. Now, none of this financial advice, but I want to recognize on the daily price level, we're making these significant lows here, 11th November, 12th, 10th November, and they're not lower than the previous lows, but they are quite at significant levels here. So yeah, the price is also playing in a channel, and also losing steam to the downside. The momentum is drifting, and in that sense, now we're coming to a key spot here. Are we going to break above the white channel, or are we going to break below and continue in the channel and break below this orange line? That's going to be determined by Bitcoin. I get a sense now, let's say Bitcoin continues correcting a little bit, maybe the alts will get a little bit of a move up or whatever, who knows. But then once Bitcoin goes, get the sense that they are in for a bruising in that way. If Bitcoin is going on that kind of a run, at least not they, they is too broad. Some things will perform well, they'll do their thing possibly here. But the KMD looks like it could hit lower lows. So just have your order set. However, that's the BTC price chart. Now, having said that, it's still up in the air. It's really up in the air on the daily level here with the RSI, the MACD, just coming out of some negative momentum. So potential to go into some positive momentum. But like I said, again, maybe it's going to be, yeah, BTC keeps correcting, goes a little positive, and then goes deeper negative, and then we can have our positive. I don't know. We'll watch. Okay. I don't control this. Do you? I don't think so. None of us do, but we're watching it along the way together. We wish we could control it. I think we could get together and control it. That would be interesting, but I don't think that's, I'm just talking wild. Okay, let's go to RSI and just show also like there is a bit of divergence building, but I don't know how significant it is, and it might just get broken. We'll see. Let's find out. Maybe it goes up first. Maybe it doesn't get broken. Maybe, you know, it can, there's scenarios where it can go up first, come down, and still be along the trend line there, in which case, you know, still remains bullish, and maybe the price is going lower and continuing to build divergence. I mean, that's pretty cool. We'll see. KMD, always a surprise, yet never too surprising. You can never know what to expect with the KMD, but I did want to show that on the 4-hour level, it looks like we could get a pop on KMD. We're hovering above the 20-period average. We're starting to go sideways. We're reaching towards, again, this line. So that would indicate going above the line, above the channel. So I get the sense that that's a good possibility, go above the channel and then slide down a bit. However, the reversal of that is if Bitcoin dumps and then all the alts dump. So if Bitcoin starts dumping, you know, if we start breaking here, that could be the chance here that we have to just slip back down and towards this channel. So here it is, you know, we're really up against it. Candles down, slow, testing this 20-period average. I get the sense maybe that the next little Bitcoin dump is coming soon enough that things will dump back down. Even if we pop up a bit, it'll still dump back down. That's just the general sense I get, but that's based on what I've said so far. Okay, that's it. So that's the KMD. That's a 4-hour price chart. We'll see what happens. Keep watching it. Let's see. Okay, now Pirate Chain, same idea. Don't have much to say. We're at the 2800 Satoshis level. A bit more clear here on the MACD on the daily price chart. It's pretty clear that there's a good potential of, you know, well, red is coming sooner than a big green burst. That's what it looks like. So looks like we will hit some negative momentum at some point soon. Then again, a real bullish move would indicate something sweet on the horizons. You know, a nice look on the horizon. So anything is possible here. We don't want to say that for sure it's going down. But increasingly, this uptrending line is more, looks more reasonable. Okay. And this zone here looks less and less, less and less like accumulation, right? And more like a redistribution. So let's just get rid of these for now. Oops, undo that. So that's the Pirate Chain price chart. Yeah, just the fact that price keeps making this type of angle of descent, making lower lows than previously. I mean, yeah, we have a wick down here, so that's the only positive thing we have going for us. And the other positive thing we have going for us is either we're about to have again another dump because we're at the lower end Bollinger Band. It's going to expand because it's narrow enough. Either that, or we're at the lower end of the Bollinger Band here, and it's actually ready to kind of use that as some support and go higher towards the upper end, which would be about 3,500 Satoshis. But maybe this 20-day moving average will be in the way, and that would be the resistance before further coming down. So let's watch it and let's see. After having said all these things, you can watch it play out one day at a time. We will look at the daily price chart, so we don't have to be, you know, looking at every little move. We get enough of a sense of it, and then it either confirms or denies what's going on, you know, confirms or denies what we were thinking. So we're currently hovering in these price levels, not very convinced that it will stay there. And I do think that this move here, this scooping move, I think we're going to break it. But that's just me talking bearish, isn't it? So let's see. That's just a prediction. None of this financial advice. I have no idea. Okay, that's it for now. I'm going to end here with that. The only possibility here is to start building some divergence here on the RSI, but I mean, it's down this way. Why not just clear it all the way? Just clear it out all the way, I guess, and then bring us back to the high levels like we were back in April. That's what everybody would love. So pray to the pirate gods and goddesses of the seas and the skies, the horizons. Oops. On a weekly price chart, we're nearing that day of the weekly candle close, and it's just looking like continued down moves. All right, but just keep your head up. Keep doing the things that matter, things that are important. This might be the accumulation zone here. So be aware. Okay, once this chart clears out, once this MACD clears out, and we're ready for positive momentum again on a good big scale. Once this RSI clears out, if that's what it needs to do, it goes oversold. All right, so we'll see. But up is in the future. It only makes sense. Okay, well, until next time, I think that's it for the Pirate Chain price chart. And that's it for me. I'm A. Giuliano, wishing you well, all the love, peace, and happiness. And goodbye.